Tom Clancy's Destiny. Oh, fuck. I mean Tom Clancy's Borderlands. No, not Borderlands. Tom Clancy's The Division is a third-person shooter, or is it an MMO, or is it an RPG? It's kind of all three, and it works as an MMO shooter RPG. It really does. Where the game fails is the single-player element, and most of the bollocks associated with it. The storyline, practically non-existent, and I won't even mention the fucking hilarious racist characters in this game. Gameplay goes like this: shoot, hide, run, repeat. That is about it. The visuals are pretty sick. You know, the snowy, desolate New York works exceptionally well and looks very aesthetically pleasing, even on the PlayStation 4, might I add. So thumbs up to Ubisoft for that. Fuck me, this game. Sometimes I hate the game, sometimes I absolutely love it. I'll start with what I love, and that's the Dark Zone. Basically the whole multiplayer element to the game. It's the reason I bought the game. I wanted to have these tense, epic battles with other players in a survival kill or be killed environment. It's where I spent the most time in the game. In the Dark Zone, you'll find amazing loot by killing these overpowered enemies and other players if you choose to. But to get this loot, you'll have to extract it via the chopper, which alerts the whole map to your position, by the way, so get ready to defend that loot you worked your arse off to get. It's a gratifying and rewarding experience that encourages you to interact with other players to form alliances, rather than just blasting each other on sight. The Dark Zone is split into different sections on the map, where only certain levels are restricted, so if you want the best loot in the game, you've got to be in the highest level zone in the game, and to be in the highest level zone, you're gonna have to level up your character in the single player. Oh god, the single player. So I guess we're on to the bad half of the game. And I said bad half, not bad part, because it literally is half of the fucking game that is utter shite. The gameplay isn't great, so when the single player missions are all the same formulaic wank, I get bored. I get really bloody bored. The story isn't told to you in a way that you'll remember, because it's all told over the in-game radio, so don't ever expect to find any characters with depth or interest, because that will only further your disappointment in this game. It's painful to get through, but the Dark Zone, man, it's worth it. You've got to keep pushing through the bullshit single player just to get to the good stuff. For example, you'll have your mission tracked on the map. You're happily following it until you get to a side mission on the street. The game will sometimes change your current objective and marker to the side mission you're just passing in the street, often forcing you to complete shit side missions. Why, Ubisoft? Why? I was having trouble with the game, and a friend told me that the single player in this game is literally just the build up to the Dark Zone. And he's right, it is. It's just filler for the main part of the game. Crazy to think that the single player of the game is actually the bit we didn't want to play. I bought The Division because I wanted a DayZ H1Z1 like experience on my PlayStation 4. And I kind of got it, I guess, but to get to the game I wanted to play, I had to hammer away hours on a game that I didn't want to play. Here's a tip for all the new players out there: get your friend, who's a higher level, to play through all the missions with you. That way the missions will go 10 times faster and you'll still earn the experience points that you need to level up. I have worries for the late game in The Division, I really do. This would have been a terrible game if it weren't for the Dark Zone. I honestly don't know if there's any more content to play after you reach level 30. If Ubisoft does not want this game to die, then they're gonna have to add some new DLC within the next few months, or honestly risk the game dying. Look, if this sounds like I'm being too harsh on the game, I'm not. It's not that the single player is badly made, the single player is just really boring. I play games to be entertained, not to be fucking bored to death. So, in conclusion, only half of this game was good. It seems reasonable to say, right? It wasn't a disappointment because I got what I wanted in the Dark Zone content, and right now I'm still continuing to get that experience. However, the single player was so boring and dull that it pulls the game down in score. I wish the Dark Zone was its own thing and somehow didn't need anything from the single player, i.e. levels, weapons, etc. This way I could honestly appreciate the game more. So to answer the question of should you buy this game, it all depends on you. Are you a single player guy who loves these Last of Us type games that are rich in story and character development? Because if you are, this is not the game for you, I'm afraid. If you're a guy who just loves that multiplayer action to play with his friends, then this game is going to be right up your alley. And if they add the great DLC that they're promising, this game will be a game you will play for months on end. I will give this game a 7 out of 10 on the basis I really fucking love that Dark Zone multiplayer, and even though they dumbed down the graphics from the 2013 A3 demo, the game still looks absolutely amazing. Hello there guys, if you were entertained or you learned something from this video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more videos like this in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much and goodbye.